Mike, check. Justin Hunt, it's all happening. Thank you to everyone for rocking with the channel. Thank you to everyone who subscribed and shared the good word, even shared a video. It's all appreciated. Big thank you to everyone who's donated. If you'd like to donate to the channel, the Cash App is right up there. Right up there. Also, there's a link in the description to the link tree. That's another way to donate to the channel to help us forward this mission every day. I really appreciate you guys. Yo, I woke up today and apparently I missed all the signs in my building that said the water is shut off for the majority of the day. So we're getting post-workout company man today, okay? Couldn't shower, couldn't get fresh, and I didn't want to dirty another t-shirt, so this is post-workout company man for the stories we're going to talk about today. And also, to people who've been asking how to get the join button on mobile, I'm not sure if I figured it out. I changed something on the back end, so I think there might be a link to join in the description of this video. Hopefully. So we'll see when this goes live. But I appreciate all of you. And big shout out to my new members. Big shout out to the new members. We got 2 new members. This keeps going in the right direction. Big shout out to my newest members. We have Solo Dolo. Big shout out to you, Solo Dolo. MK Sultra. Big shout out to you, MK Sultra. That's a dope name. That's a fire name, MK Sultra. And, 3 new members. And Martin Gomez. Martin Gomez. Big thank you to you guys. 9-second applause. Thank you. Okay. Big show for today. Big show for today. Now, obviously, hip-hop media is super tied up with the announcement that Kendrick Lamar is headlining the Super Bowl. And the number of people who have been screaming at Jay-Z. Nicki Minaj cursed Jay-Z out. We talked about that yesterday. Master P released a statement saying Wayne should be a part of it. We talked about that yesterday. Birdman has since come out and said all kinds of crazy things yesterday as well. People are very upset. They're taking this as a slight to New Orleans hip-hop culture, to New Orleans culture, by not having Lil Wayne headline the Super Bowl. We talked about this yesterday in the video that I put up. I personally think Kendrick Lamar is the right choice. I don't think anybody puts on a better live show than Kendrick Lamar. I think everything that PG Lang does, generally speaking, TDE does at the same time, is always classy, cultural, and captivating. And so I wouldn't be surprised if Lil Wayne made an appearance, was part of this performance in some way, shape, or fashion. But in terms of live shows, I mean, I'm just not sure Lil Wayne would be able to maximize that. Honestly, I think Master P might be able to put together a more exciting halftime show than Lil Wayne, in my opinion. I don't think this is a referendum on anything against New Orleans particularly. But Lil Wayne obviously is the best rapper to ever come out of New Orleans and one of the best rappers of all time. And so, and he wanted to do it. And he definitely wanted to do it. So I understand the sentiment and where people are coming from, but it's reached conspiratorial levels, and people are just saying a lot of crazy things. Now, there is one comment that I actually found pretty interesting. And because, this comment is coming from an artist who has been on this topic for the past couple of days, right? And this comes from Hurricane Chris. Hurricane Chris. Now, Hurricane Chris has been embroiled in a back and forth with 50 Cent over the past month. 50 Cent has built his new headquarters in Shreveport, Louisiana, where he's going to do all of his production. He's basically has a Tyler Perry situation in Shreveport, Louisiana, right? I think it's a major accomplishment. I'm excited to see what 50 does with it, but that's a huge thing. He's invested a lot of money into the city, and he's making Shreveport, Louisiana, his headquarters. Okay. Now, Hurricane Chris was frustrated because one of the activations that 50 did in Shreveport was the Humor and Harmony Festival. The Humor and Harmony Festival. And it was a festival celebration of music and comedy. And 50 Cent didn't have anyone from Shreveport, Louisiana perform. He didn't have anyone there from Shreveport. And Hurricane Chris was upset. So let's run through this, and it'll connect to what happened this weekend with Kendrick Lamar. So Hurricane Chris had some scathing things to say about the lack of Shreveport representation during the humor during the Humor and Harmony Festival. So here's Chris.
hip hop. You throw a concert in Louisiana and don't book no Louisiana legends and put no bankroll in no Louisiana legends pocket, but you pay the police $500,000. What type of shit is that? Nigga, you ain't with my city, nigga. You taking advantage of my city, nigga, cause shit cheap and it costs way less than it costs where you from. And y'all stupid, slow, so crazy that y'all gonna let this nigga come down here and not show no love to Louisiana. This nigga ain't booked no Louisiana artists. This nigga didn't even go to Baton Rouge and get no boosies or no wetties from us. Shreveport had cheap ass land. He came and bought that shit, and the nigga don't give a about fucking with us. And he just showed you that by paying the police $500,000 when we got young niggas out here starving, when we got young niggas out here killing each other. That money could have went to anything to help the youth. We don't need more money invested into the police, nigga. We need more money invested into the community. We need more who know the community, who know the people, who willing to put their feet on the ground to make a difference with their influence. Your money, nigga. We don't care nothing about it, nigga.
All right, so he goes on. It's pretty lengthy. I'm not going to rehash the whole thing, but he was very upset. And if you listen to that right there, you can hear him say you didn't put no Louisiana legends on. You didn't put no one from Louisiana on. He's even said no one from Baton Rouge. No one from Baton Rouge. Now, that caused some confusion when he said that because Fredo Bangs was on the bill. Fredo Bangs did perform. So Fredo Bangs made a statement, and he said, unfortunately, it looks like one of the performers caught wind of Hurricane Chris's comments and hopped online to address them. In a clip, Louisiana-born artist Fredo Bangs points out that he was there and questions what Hurricane Chris was talking about. Hurricane, if he didn't put no Louisiana artists on, he didn't put no Louisiana artists, Louisiana legends, who the F am I then? He asked. It doesn't look like he was too offended by the mix-up, as he noted in the caption. Now, according to Chris, however, Fredo Bangs doesn't count. He took to the neighborhood talk comment section to clear up things earlier today. He says he was specifically referring to artists from Shreveport and not from Louisiana as a whole. His direct quote was, "What about Shreveport, not the whole state?" Okay, so this is another, this is Hurricane Chris sticking up for his community, sticking up for his city, sticking up for his region, and, being skeptical of people coming in trying to take advantage of the low cost of living, the cheap land, as he said there. 50 doesn't let anything go. As we know, 50 Cent doesn't let anything go, right? So here's what he posted on Twitter. He said, "Hurricane Flex, boy, yo ish is whack. The F you think you Fredo Bangs. Yo ish gets no play in my ride." And he put this legendary clip from Juice. Check this out.
What you mean it ain't good enough, man? What you mean it ain't good enough? My name is Flex. Look, brother, look like Gumby. You talking about I ain't good enough?
I mean exactly what I said. You need more experience, all right? You need to work on your mixing more.
What you mean? What the fuck is wrong with my mix?
Wait, I know you didn't just snatch that from me.
It's my take.
I know you
What's
didn't
wrong
just
with
snatch
my
that
mix?
from me. Look, the shit is totally sloppy. Only a fool would open up the way you do. Nobody likes the records that you play, all right? It's just completely whack.
Q's face always trips me out in the background in this scene.
Face it.
Fuck you.
So that's a classic scene, right? He's emphasized the fact that he doesn't play Hurricane Chris. Hurricane Chris doesn't get no play. He posted another clip. 50 says, "Oh no, you're not gonna play that one song you got. Bebe just went on stage with Master P, LOL, G-Unit branch." Here's a clip.
Here, put that in for me. You know that shit gets no play in this ride.
Gets no play in this ride. All right, so this is how it's going. Hurricane Chris is standing up for his city. He feels like someone from Shreveport should have been supported in that show. It's hard for me to tell if he's talking specifically about this show. It's hard for me to tell if he feels particularly slighted since he wasn't invited. But I do think that what he's saying does capture the sentiment, generally speaking, when you have big institutions that come into your community and they don't necessarily help the community, they just help the politicians and the police force, which is a pretty common thing, to be honest. All right, so Hurricane Chris responded. Hurricane Chris responded, though. Okay, so here's Hurricane Chris's response.
You big dummy, you just proved my point. You don't know shit about the city. Shreveport, the nigga just said I got one song. Nigga, I go all the way back to 5 Entertainment. That's how I know you don't know shit about the city, homie. You just a culture vulture ass nigga that seen some shit for sale and you wanted to come profit. Now go ahead and go get some niggas something since I done got on your ass. Go ahead and go try to pound it to some niggas and put some niggas on or do something and help some niggas cause you see I'm getting on your motherfucking ass. Go ahead and try to play chess like that. You ain't gonna outsmart me, nigga. I ain't none of these dumbass fool ass niggas you ever dealt with. Nigga, I got a whole catalog of shit. Me and Boosie got a mixtape. Nigga, I've been dropping music in Shreveport since 05. I've been touring in Louisiana and all these Texas areas since 05. Dumbass nigga don't know nothing about our culture. That's why I was going off on this nigga. Cause I know this nigga don't give a fuck to do no research about us and our people. Shreveport, man, say, man. Stand up or fall for any motherfucking thing. You got to stand up for something, man.
All right, so that was Hurricane Chris's response to 50. Okay, right. He said, I get it. You see, you don't know nothing about our culture. I've been putting out music since 2005. I'm lit out here. This is our culture. You know, we got to stand up against interlopers and culture vultures, right? He's essentially calling 50 a culture vulture, right? It's another point to make. Like, you could be a culture vulture and not necessarily, and not be of a different race. You know what I mean? that came up during the battle, right? Everything goes back to this battle, but that came up during the battle. People were like, "Oh, how can he be a culture vulture? How can he be a culture vulture? He's black too." You can, if you're taking advantage of other people's communities and not adding anything to it, you're technically a culture vulture. That's what it is. If you're just stealing and moving on. Okay. Now 50 is investing. I imagine that's going to add to more jobs, generally speaking, for the people of Shreveport. I guarantee that's going to add more, people, investment from outside of Shreveport coming in to Shreveport because of this huge complex institution 50 Cent is building. But that's what happened. Okay. So that's the backstory with that. Here's how it connects. So Hurricane Chris was another person who was very upset that Lil Wayne wasn't selected to headline the Super Bowl. And I imagine he's probably upset that no one from Louisiana was selected. It might not even just be Lil Wayne. So, and here's what he says in his response.
So now you niggas understand it, huh? Same up I was just saying 50 Cent did in Shreveport. Now it's happening in New Orleans on a bigger scale, so people like Master P come in on it, so now everybody understand. I just made this same but I guess, cause I ain't my brother, motherfucker, get it. Well, I'm glad it's going down like it's going down. God told me to just sit back and motherfucker was gonna be open. It don't matter whether you small or big. It don't matter whether you large. It don't matter whether you tiny. Homage is old. Respect is old. You supposed to pay respect to the mother lay the foundation before you. I wouldn't give a damn what your organization is. I wouldn't give a damn how much money you spent. I wouldn't give a damn what you did. When you walk into a house, you speak to everybody who live in that house and you pay respect to everybody who live in that house. I'm from the South. Now, wherever you from, you go do what you do wherever you go do it. But when you come to the South, y'all got to show more respect in this, bruh. We got our own culture here. Niggas coming down here laughing, playing games, thinking they just gonna use their money and take over everything. It ain't going down like that. We going back to that old. Oh, you niggas stepping on turf, gon' do what you supposed to do, or you gonna pack it up and get on somewhere. All the nice guy shit out the window. Trying to cop deuces. Take back every nice word I said to you niggas. Get your mind right, or we gonna make niggas get their mind right. How about that?
How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? Now, I don't want to disrespect Hurricane Chris because I see where he's coming from, and to a large degree, I actually agree with him. You know what I mean? This isn't too far removed from check-in culture, in my opinion. Now, I'm not talking about check-in culture connected to extortion culture, but generally speaking, for example, when people do shows, when big artists go to different regions to do shows, a lot of times they'll have local artists perform. They'll have whoever, the biggest local artists in the region perform on stage. Like, the funny thing is, like, even the Rick Ross show in Vancouver that had the Hells Angels cats, they were performing. The Hells Angels performed. They opened up that show. That's a very common thing. So I understand where he's coming from by saying no one from Shreveport was on stage during Humor and Harmony. But he connected this to the Super Bowl. And the thing about the Super Bowl that I see a lot of criticisms and critiques that are complaining that the Super Bowl is that Kendrick's decision was corporate and industry. It was a corporate decision. It's not for the culture. It's not grassroots. It's not representative of all the incredible artists that establish what hip hop and broader music culture in Louisiana and New Orleans truly is. I hear a lot of people complaining that it's corporate. This reeks of corporation decisions, industry maneuvering. Well, it's the Super Bowl. It is the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is the definition of corporate and industry. That's why the tickets are so high. That's why the commercials during the Super Bowl are so expensive. This is the definition of that. And I understand where Hurricane Chris is coming from, saying that, the Super Bowl disrespected Louisiana. I feel his energy. And I definitely feel where he's coming from when it comes to 50 Cent's Humor and Harmony concert. I definitely feel that. And I understand people wishing or believing that Lil Wayne should get it by default because he's the biggest artist in New Orleans. But a lot of this to me feels like this is the reaction people are getting simply because Dr. Dre did it in LA. Simply because they're looking at Dre. Oh, Dre did it in LA, so maybe we should keep doing this for every city. I don't think that Dre headlining and curating that show during the Super Bowl in LA was a sign of a pattern of performances that we were going to see going forward. I mean, last year we had Usher in Las Vegas. Right? I don't think that that's a pattern we can expect from one of the biggest, most corporate institutions in America, the NFL. I just don't think that is the case. So I see where Hurricane Chris is coming from with the Humor and Harmony Festival. I see how he's connecting it onto a grander scale when it comes to the Super Bowl. I just think that the expectations for the Super Bowl are way past any one person. Because the Super Bowl told us a long time ago, the Super Bowl told us who they are. The NFL told us who they are. Roger Goodell told us who he is. Jay-Z told us who he is. So to lash out at people who were selected, to lash out at, those who might feel like this is a great decision, and exclude the fact that this isn't something that the NFL really does, and exclude the fact that more people are involved in that decision than just Jay-Z, Rock Nation, the NFL, is also the host city. To exclude all those other things and pick and choose who we want to fire at, to sound legitimately unhinged like Nicki Minaj. To take this personally, I think that is outside the expectation. Because honestly, if I'm Wayne, I'm trying to position myself as best as possible to get one of these next two Super Bowls. Clearly, they're not picking people based on city or region. You don't want to accidentally vote yourself off the island now because y'all showed your ass and attacked the organizations who made that decision this year. Lil Wayne is still worthy. He's a worthy artist with a worthy catalog. A lot of times people don't know how to act when they get turned down and they end up getting turned down again. But either way, let me know what you guys think about this. I feel Hurricane Chris, like I said, about 50 Cent's show in Louisiana. I'm a little more detached from what he's saying when it comes to the Super Bowl. Let me know if I sound hypocritical. My name is Justin Hunt. Like and subscribe to the channel. Follow at The Company Man on everything. It's all happening.
Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. The mathematical breakdown of this mighty game of rap we in. It's boom bapping. Systematical culture views us radical, it's all happening. Shaking hands and dapping it. Life through the lens of hip hop, from trip hop to yes, y'all, you don't stop, you don't stop. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening.